Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, committee. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a dyslexic. Been a dyslexic all my life. I've kind of watched this for the last half of a century. I've interviewed a lot of neuroscientists, master educators, and I listened to a lot of what's going on today. And when I sit before you guys, I think of how privileged I am to sit before the lawmakers who can really change people's lives. Because if people didn't walk in and tell you who's dyslexic, you're not going to know. See, dyslexic doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care if you're old, young, male, female, what color, what nationality, what your religion is. So it's a beautiful thing. It actually happens to our species. And I've heard this. We're talking about teaching the people strengths and weaknesses. Well, we have a way of, we call it learning differences for a reason, because we learn differently. We used to call it learning disability, which is interesting because we're able to disable people. If we can't teach them to read by 4th grade, we've disabled them. We failed them. So what we really have is the ability, which we've had for 100 years, and in a case like Orton Gillingham, that we can train our teachers, and we can train our young kids. You saw those young kids who went to Hamilton. They learned how to read. At one time they couldn't. We have the ability. We can't fail them. You know what happens? It's all about economics. Because then what happens is there's if we can't reach them, their self-esteem is in the toilet. They can't catch up on the reading. And how do we sleep at night when we know that we have the ability to teach them to read, but we didn't, because we wanted to save a couple bucks. So where we save our couple of bucks, it's great, but we're going to pay for it in the prison system, because we've talked about that. There's going to be drug and alcohol and divorces.
We're at the 2-minute point.
All right. In conclusion, all we're trying to do is teach kids how to read. That's simple. End of sentence, period.
Excellent.